hello. Come on in the room. Come on in the room, everybody. Come one, come all. As I say, come big, come small. Shout out to all of the best friends who will watch live. Shout out to our subscriber best friends. Shout out to all of the best friends that will watch this video as a replay. It is so good to see each and every one of you guys. For those of you guys who have never been with me before and you have no idea where you found yourself, I am Candy Sincerity Johnson. My partner in life, my partner in business, Miss Shawn Johnson, will be joining us momentarily. So Shawn is going to be on the line in just a moment. Here she is. Here she is. Hey, best friends, as you guys come in. Hey, let me bring Shawn on. Let me bring Shawn on, everybody. Hey, Shawn. Hey, Miss Gwen, Miss Rebecca, Miss Lynn. I see all the best friends coming in. Hey, Shawn.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm doing good. Hopefully I have a good angle and everything because I don't have no tripod or nothing. So I'm just trying to wing it with propping you guys up on my computer.
Okay. It's a little, well, it's almost like I see the top of your head, but are you able to bring it down a little bit? There you go.
Is that
Yeah.
better?
Yes, that's
I don't want
perfect.
it to fall over because then it'll
We
fall over.
don't look. We don't want it to fall over either.
Hey, best friend.
Hi, best friends. I was saying hi to everybody. I was doing a modified version, I guess, of our introduction since we're in two different places.
Gotcha.
Yes, yes, yes. So we got a very interesting topic on today.
It's like a continuation.
Would you say?
I said it's like a continuation.
Girl, listen, for me, a lot of people are probably going to be like, girl, why don't y'all leave it alone? Why don't y'all put it down? This topic is still trending, number one. Number two, every time we look up, there's new development.
Yeah.
There's always new developments. And with new developments comes new lessons, new opportunities to learn. So that's what it is for me. So before we get started, Shawn, do you have any announcements, anything that you want to share with the best friends?
Not that I can think of. I don't have any announcements.
Really? Okay. Okay. Well, cool. So let's dive into tonight's topic. So do you have anything you want to start or you want me to start?
You can start.
Okay. So just to give you guys a little framework before we get going. Tonight we're talking about Grandma Holla still, and we're talking about the funeral feud. What is the funeral feud? The funeral feud is the dispute between what they should do with the funeral services and what they shouldn't do. And so I think there's a lot of division as it relates to how they should conduct the funeral. Everybody's got an opinion, and so the conversation continues. So just to give a little bit of framework, I saw a video, and we mentioned this part before. We saw a video a while ago from the grandson Kyle. In that video, Kyle stated that the funeral service had already been paid for prior to the GoFundMe or the big account being posted by Shell. And so he also said in that video, he mentioned, hey, that's pimping 101. That's pimping 101. She learned from the best, as it relates to, hey, the funeral's already paid for, but go ahead and post this GoFundMe. And then, you may be able to either recoup some, all, or more than that from the people because, sympathy, etc., right? So that's how that played out, allegedly. I say allegedly because, of course, this is all coming from the video that Kyle posted. Now bring us a little bit more current. Then comes funeral details. A lot of people online have been looking for funeral details. They want to know when's the funeral, where's the funeral, are people welcome to come to the funeral? People want to know, is the funeral going to be streamed live? Are they going to be able to tune in, etc.? This is where the conversation comes for tonight as it relates to the topic. So there have been two different schools of thought. Last I checked, the family was saying that they were still divided or split as it relates to whether or not they will stream the funeral live. Have you seen anything else?
I have not seen anything else. One thing that I did want to just say, just to kind of interject with that whole Kyle video this past Tuesday, because everything kind of blew up on Tuesday,
Yeah.
which was the 17th. That was the day that Shell came on live and said that she had just left their funeral home, talking about the funeral arrangements, trying to plan everything. That was the same day that the GoFundMe account went up, and that was also the same day that Kyle did his video. So for me, when we initially talked about it, I was trying to figure out, okay, what was the timing? Because timing is key and stuff like that. Because if it was a situation where, you know, that video that he did came out way after the GoFundMe, you know, you just have to figure out what the timing is, because that's pivotal and that's key in a situation like that. One of the things that I wanted to interject, just from having experience with helping plan my great grandmother's funeral as well as my little cousin's funeral a couple of years ago, some people were saying, yeah, some funeral homes, you can't even plan any kind of funeral homes or, you know, any kind of funeral unless you have the money, the yada, yada, yada. That's not necessarily true. It depends on what arrangements you have with the funeral home, you know, because different funeral homes do things differently. Because I know for my little cousin, we had started with the preparation of the funeral and we did not have the funds in place at that time. And then they gave us a deadline. Basically, they said you have to have the money in by this day. So the reason why I bring that up is, okay, when Shell came on and she said, hey, the funeral arrangements are starting, then Kyle says, well, they already paid for. Could it have been paid for? Could have been. Could it not have been paid for? Could have been as well. It could have been a situation where she's already starting to put everything into works, and then she figured out how much it was going to be, which is then why she then posted the GoFundMe. So I'm just putting that out there because when we talk about things and when we do videos on things, we try to bring different perspectives and we try to look at it from a bunch of different angles. So I'm just throwing that out there as a nugget to kind of think about, because at the end of the day, that's still kind of up in the air. I think most people are kind of leaning towards, oh, it was already paid for. And then some people are still like trying to figure that piece out. So I'm just adding that into the conversation.
Okay. All right. That's definitely a perspective. So as it relates to the services, right? It seems that just from what is being said online, it seems like there's two different schools of thought. There's one group of people who think, hey, whether the family stream it live or not, whether the family open the doors of the services to the public or not, at the end of the day, it's their family member, it's their services, they have the right to their privacy. And at the end of the day, they don't really owe the public anything. You know what I'm saying? Although people love Grandma Holla, and they would like to be a part of it, if we're honest, there's one school of thought that they don't owe the public anything. Then there's another school of thought. The second school of thought is, nah, sis, y'all asked for donations. The public responded. Grandma Holla is loved and, you know, admired by a lot of people. A lot of people online would like closure. They support it. They've been there throughout the course of you guys' journey. And quite frankly, a lot of what you have, including the services, the public finance. So it's a slap in the face to then not allow them to be a part of what you were then asking them to pay for. Right. So there's two different schools of thought, right? What do you have any follow up before I go further?
So my biggest thing is, I don't know if you want to know what school of thought I subscribe to. I can see both sides of the token for sure. However, I probably am leaning more towards the side of, at the end of the day, they don't owe the public anything. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, no, but you have to think. We got a divided household?
We're going to debate it tonight? Let's debate it.
We got a divided household?
Let's debate it.
So this is the reason why I say that, though. At the end of the day, that is their loved one. We were just brought into it as the public because they made these public videos. We did fall in love with Miss Holla. She was absolutely amazing. She made me laugh. She made me think, all of the things. But at the end of the day, would I like to be able to see the services? For sure. You know, if it was made public, for sure. However, if it's not made public, I don't feel a way. Like, I don't feel like, oh, well, you owe me that, because I sat and I watched all these videos and I fell in love with her and all of that. They don't know me from a hole in the wall. Like, I could walk past them in the street and they don't know who I am. So at the end of the day, I feel like if they choose as a family to say, no, we're not going to stream it because we want it for our privacy, then that's their business. That's their grandmother. That's their loved one, their aunt, their whatever. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, they don't owe us anything. And my thing is, if a person gave almost like an admittance ticket, like they were paying for it to get into the funeral, then I feel like they gave it with the wrong vein. If they were truly given because they love Miss Holla and they love that family and they wanted to help them in their time of need, then that should have just been that. And that's my opinion.
Okay. No, I respect that. And I definitely, and again, I don't necessarily have a dog in the fight. I'm just looking at it from the opposite side. So you represent one side, I represent another side, right? So my school of thought is I respect that, right? And I think I respect it because, again, I see that side of it. But at the same time, we're not talking about a celebrity like, for example, when, who was it? Was it Aretha Franklin, right? We're not talking about like Aretha Franklin's estate when she passed away. Now, Aretha's family never came forth and said, hey, we want you to help bury this celebrity or this person who's known to the public. You see what I'm saying? They never said that. So if at any point in time they wanted to have the services private, it would have been, whatever, right? But I think it's kind of bait and switch. I think if that's the case, maybe that should have been made known up front. So if people did have that expectation, and not to say that they were entitled to it, but if people did have that expectation could have been managed a little bit better, right? I would also argue that as the family's trying to make this decision and figure out if this is something that they want to do you want to make the services, open to the public or not? Do you want to stream it live or not? One of the key things that they have to consider is far too often we as human beings, we live for the right now. We live for the right now. Now, what do I mean by we live for the right now? If this family is interested in making this a brand and continuing this legacy on social media, you don't want to keep getting in front of the camera, making angry the very people that you want something from. You understand what I'm saying? You can't have it both ways. Now, it was good for the entertainment. It was good for the videos. It was good for all of what it was good for. And then when things started to get money, you didn't want people involved. Now, when you come back out and you say, hey, we want to now create a brand, we're moving past this, we're ready to heal, we're ready to move forward, you got to be very careful, because now what you're asking people to do is you're asking people to get back involved. So then what the general public is going to say is, look, either we in or we out. And you're going to have a lot of people that fall out because they're very turned off by that. When it comes to building relationships in the public, you have to be consistent. And that's the part that a lot of people don't know and they don't think through. And so I say that because however they decide. Again, I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm just speaking for if you decide that this is something you want to do long term, and understand that each decision has consequences.
That's true. That's true. And like I said, and I'm not saying that anybody that's on one side of the coin is right and one side of the coin is wrong. I'm just saying that I can see it from both sides, but I lean more towards, at the end of the day, that's their own privacy. Now, like you said, should it have been made known? Yeah, it probably should have been made known. You know what I'm saying? It probably should have been made known that, this may or may not be public, and then that way people can make their own decisions how they want to make them. Just like we always tell people, give people all the information they need to know so they can make the decision that's best for them. You know what I'm saying? So,
Now, let me add this. There were some people who were saying, because of course everybody got reaction videos. There were some people that were like, oh, well, it's a security risk. There's a lot of people that's kind of upset with Kyle's video and kind of allude to the fact that everything was paid up front. And there's people who like, yo, I feel finesse. I feel like it was bait and switch, banana and tailpipe. You knew, that everything was already taken care of, and you presented something else, and you collected all this money from the community. So there's a group of people who are upset. So some people think that the family is considering having everything closed for the sake of security, to protect everybody's security. My argument would be to that is, okay, well, make the in-person private. Make the in-person only available to family and friends, and make it so that you almost have to be even on like a guest list to get in. right? Or show you whatever, however you do it. Then just stream it live so that everybody else who wants to be a part of the service can still participate. That way you're making both sides happy. You still, as it relates to being inside of the church, inside of the facility, you're keeping it private, you're keeping it personal. It's only the people that you want there, but then you're also allowing the people to say their goodbyes, get their closure, etc.
That makes sense. Yeah. Because like you said, if it's truly a security concern, like you said, making the in-person private would solve that. Because I mean, we can't do nothing through a phone, tablet, or computer.
Yeah,
So
yeah. There was a best friend. I know the comments. So I'm trying to. The comments for us are not on the device. I'm trying to look at
mhm,
my computer, and they're moving quickly
mhm,
on my computer because I think they get stuck and then they go. So one of the comments that I saw, the best friend said, "Have you seen her husband's video? They're a mess." I have seen her husband's video. I have seen her husband's video, and to that, I would say, again, there's some things, I would say that they should, and again, this is no plug, they should hire a professional to
mhm.
come in and help them navigate through this if this is
Yeah.
something that they want to continue to do. They have to have somebody working with them to try to do damage control and help them troubleshoot getting over this hurdle. Because this is when the music starts in the movie. You understand what I'm saying? This is where everything starts to happen, and this is where the transition happens in a movie. This is where you have to. This is that fork in the road where you got to either go left or you got to go right. And what they choose to do over the next probably week, you probably got a solid 7 days. Over the next
Mhm.
week is going to determine everything. Because the thing about social media is you have to produce content very, very often, very, very consistently. What used to be done in a week, a year ago, people will forget you in a day now. Because
Mhm.
you have influencers who are producing 10 pieces of content a day, 12 pieces of content a day, 20 pieces of content a day. So with people's timelines and social media channels being flooded with information, you will get lost in the sauce, and shortly thereafter, people will forget about it. And
Yeah.
then it'll be a moot point. And then when you come back and you try to reinvent yourself, you won't get the same results. And you're like, what happened? Well, people have moved on. So they have a very small window of time to really make a decision as to how they're going to move through this for the thereafter, right?
Mhm.
And so, I mean, if I was working with them, well, I would have a full plan, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, I feel like I think that is one of those things where everybody's is deep in their emotions. And when you act from a place of emotion, it can come off negatively. And like you said, I feel like I'm right with you when you say that they need somebody to help them navigate this, because this is something that's new for some. For some people, it's almost like being an actor and actress. Not to say they're acting, because I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is when you are in a space that you're not used to being in, it can be difficult to navigate it, and you may need help and coaching to figure out how to navigate it. And I think that that's where they are at this point, because this is completely different than when they were just able to get online with Grandma Holla and let her be her amazing self and not have to think about what was being said and what was being done and how things were being handled. And this is a completely different space.
Mm-hmm.
And then moving forward, if they're going to make, like you said, if they're going to make this a brand moving forward, then that's a whole nother cup of tea that they have to consider as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, yeah, it is. It is. But I mean, they
now,
easily could make it a brand.
now you said something, and I don't know if you wanna dive into it or not. I'm gonna put you on the spot a little bit. You know how I like to do.
You
You
said,
said that if you were working with them, you would have a whole plan for them.
oh yeah,
What what would that look like, Miss Business Coach, Miss Candy Sincerity
you
Johnson?
tried
I
it.
tried.
You want me to like? I mean, I would have to sit down and create something. But okay, let's do this.
I'll,
I'll do it. I'll play with you tonight. I'll play with you
I'll
tonight.
put down. I'll
I'll
put
play
down.
with you tonight.
I'm putting you in the pressure cooker.
Okay, that's fine. So tell me this: when is the services? Allegedly.
I believe it's next Saturday. Why you keep saying allegedly?
I don't know, girl, because that's what everybody say online. They say allegedly, girl. I don't know. Let's say the services are Saturday. Let's say the services are Saturday. Starting Wednesday, the family and I, this is assuming that I'm working with them, y'all, and I'm gonna fly through something, and this is not even well thought out. Okay, this is just me putting my gift on display to show y'all what I do. Okay, and this is a loose plan. This is nothing detailed, etc. Right? Services are Saturday. Starting Wednesday, we start a social media campaign. The social media campaign is going live 2 or 3 times a day. The family is gathered. They're inviting everybody to tune in to the services. The services begin promptly at such and such a time on Saturday. And so tune in to the page because they're going to be streaming the services live. Then behind the scenes, the family and I will be reaching out to large influencers. We want other people streaming the funeral service live. We want to contact news stations. We would also, what else would I do? I would contact the blogger groups, the shade room, all of that to try to get as many people streaming this live as possible. So now, fast forward to Saturday. Saturday is here. The services are here. The services go forth all Saturday. All Saturday. I would tell people make sure they're tuned into the page all day on Saturday, not just during the time window that we have the services, but I would say stay tuned to the page all day Saturday. A huge announcement is coming from the family, right? What's the announcement from the family? Saturday comes, right? Saturday comes, we're announcing that we're having a huge family meeting tomorrow. You want to be front and center. Everybody's invited. We're putting everything on the table. We're airing everything out. We're coming together. The whole family's getting together for a meeting at Holla's house. And so the funeral Saturday, so that's Sunday, right? Let me write down Sunday. Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Sunday,
I'm mad at the time.
Sunday, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. Mark your calendars. You don't want to miss it. Again, working that same chitlin circuit. We got every social media influencer. Sunday. Make sure your people in the room, blah, 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 blah. So we get to Sunday. So Saturday, we got the funeral service. Everything's amazing. Everybody's feeling good because you have now invited them into being a part of it, which they should be anyway because they've been so supportive. And so everybody's on a high after Saturday. They feeling, holla, holla, whatever, right? So that's Saturday. Sunday, we come together for the family meeting. Here's what the family meeting look like. I would say Shell should be the main spokesperson at the family meeting.
I agree.
Shell is the most poised. She's probably the most polished. She's comfortable speaking, and so people are used to her voice as well. So during this family meeting, everybody comes together. It serves several purposes. You want to engage the family, number one, but you want to really use this as an opportunity to reconnect and mend the broken or damaged relationship between you and your followers, you and your community. There's a lot of people with a lot of different feelings. There's people who are left, there's people who are angry, there's people who are ride or die, and there's everybody in between who's just tuning in, quite frankly, to be nosy and to figure out what's going on. Mm-hmm. Use this as an opportunity to thank everybody for their support, show love, thank you for your thoughts, thank you for your prayers. This has been a difficult time. You also show vulnerability here. This is an opportunity to show vulnerability. What do I mean by vulnerability? You say, we have not always made the right decisions. If I had to do this all over again, there's a lot of things I would do different. There's a lot of things family members would do different. I would just really use this as an opportunity to just lay your cards out. And just, we really want to continue the legacy. One of the things that Grandma said before she left was, she started it, but she's passing the torch to us. And so it's our intent to continue this going. The only way we can continue it going is if we have the support of what they call them, the frappes.
Yeah.
We need the support of the frappes. We need you guys more than ever. Not financially, but we need you to rally around and support us and to continue to watch our content. You get the forgiveness of the people, you get them re-engaged, you get everybody all excited you show vulnerability, all of these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's where the transformation comes in.
Come on, transformation.
That's what I do, girl. Transformation, girl. Then you say, you let them know, but you gotta mean it. You can't. That's the thing. See, I don't do acting. There's people
Right.
who want to work with you, and they like, girl, I just say what you tell me to say. No. Because sis, you can pretend for so long, and then after a few days, you fall back into you, and it's you and what you say don't align, and it don't mirror. I can't do it because then
Exactly.
it's under what. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Moving on. Then what you do is usually when they would go live, it would be between 18 and 20,000 people watching. So with this chitlin circuit and all of this exposure that you have, y'all, I'm playing. That's a joke. When I say chitlin, with all of this exposure that you have on this particular day, you got everybody tuning in. So what 18 to 20,000 people watching live is probably now 30,000, 40, or 50,000 people watching live. I would just say you guys have seen some of the outrageous videos that my family and I have posted. So in true transparency, what this has done is put a mirror in our face. We now realize some things. Number one, we realize we could benefit from family counseling, family therapy. Out of everybody watching live and everybody that's going to watch this as a replay, is there anybody who does family counseling? You're a therapist, connected to a company that offers family counseling, whatever. Is there anybody willing to partner with my family and I for family counseling? It's going to always be somebody who says yes, because it's the therapist who's excellent at what she does, but maybe she needs more exposure. You have your people, which would be your business coach or whoever's alongside the family, working with the family. You have that person vet through, several people that, want to work with the family to figure out who's the most qualified and who's the best person for the job. Family therapist in place. Then comes the individual work. We did a video about the individual work. Then comes the individual work. These individuals all need counseling and therapy. Not to suggest that there's anything wrong with anybody, but everybody's got a lot of stuff to unpack. And money can't solve all of it. And media is not going to solve all of it. Okay? So then we do the same thing with the individual counseling. Then you have to work with a business coach. That's when you invite me in. Somebody who helps you clean up your brand. Somebody who helps you with media training, right? Then you get to that. You have to do that because you cannot continue, to the best friend's point, posting these videos, the husband posting these videos, calling people idiots and calling these people all sorts of names. It's very disrespectful because even on Sean and I's worst day, where we get all kinds of criticism and negativity in the comments, the positive outweigh the good. And if the positive didn't outweigh the good, we wouldn't continue to show up. You understand? And so what happens far too often is when people are not used to speaking in public or they're not comfortable with that, then they focus on the one little negative area. And I know it's a lot with numbers that big. It's coming at them. But it's easy to focus on that and then get distracted from all of the people that have shown love to your brand and all of the people who have supported your brand. And so when you get online and you do a video and you start name calling and calling people idiots and saying how you wish you didn't do this and all this other stuff and all these regrets, it makes the people who believed in you and supported you kind of second guess. Is it I even want to attach myself to, or should I unfollow? Next thing you need to consider during this whole family meeting, you got to openly admit that finances is a problem. You have to. What does that look like? Hey, we're from humble beginnings. We don't know a lot about managing a lot of money, so there's some areas that we need help with. We need life insurance, so we need an insurance person. We need this, we need that. We might need a CPA, bookkeeper, whatever. And I seen another video. It was Shell's husband and her son. She has a very handsome son. I think his name is Caden. Caden.
Yeah, he's so cute.
Right. So it was Caden, and then it was her husband, Kendall. I learned today that Caden is autistic.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that I'm not even sure that they think about is planning for him. What does this look like in several years when, Shell is older and her husband are older? Who's going to take care of their adult son? Or is he going to be independent where he can take care of himself? I don't know. But you still are planning long term for that stuff. So I would just be transparent, girl. That whole family meeting would be transparency. It would be then at the end of the meeting, it's all about the action items. You tell people what they can expect. What can you guys expect from this whole family? Well, the brand manager or the business coach will say, hey, family, we need everybody to commit to getting together here at Holla's house 3 times a week. We're going to film 3 times a week, this day, this day, this day. I don't care, come hell or high water, you got to be here or you out. It's almost like a contract. You need to get certain people on contract. You have to be here to film or you out. Every time they come together 3 times a week, you showing pictures of Holla, telling stories, on that page, the Frappe page, all of that. Y'all posting reels of Holla. You doing video shorts, little snippets of her telling jokes and stuff. Y'all getting together when you go live the 3 times a week at the house. You basically, that's the time where y'all reminiscing and it's family time, right? Y'all food, somebody cooked, y'all got food at the house. And what you really want to leverage this as, leveraging Holla's legacy and leveraging her name, but coming back to the same place that everybody fell in love with you guys at. You come back to the same place and you come back to the same place together. And then what happens is people that were coming for Holla now start falling in love with each individual because there's something about each person that they connect with. So now every individual following grows. And that's how you start to work with each individual brand, right? What am I following each person for? That's that self-work that we talked about before. Remember we talked about the individual counseling and all of that. That's what we see Mr. Kyle going through counseling. We see you sitting down talking to somebody, bro. We see you working every day. When I go to your page, this is where we will see that content. We see you going to therapy once a week. We see you working on your business. We see you putting down all the nonsense. You cleaning up your act and you doing it on camera, and the people are bearing witness to this, right? So that a year from now, 12 months from now, when you have more revenue coming in through all your social media channels and all your different endeavors that are going to come, you can now finance your own liquor store. And you have 100,000, 500,000 excited people all over the world that are watching the journey from the beginning and waiting for it and rooting for your success.
Yep.
And you do that with everybody. Everybody's got a different path, right? And that's how you keep it going. Then you're working with financial people in the background to take what's coming in because this money may or may not always be here. But then financial people with what's coming in to multiply that and invest that behind the scenes.
That's what's up.
Yeah. I would do this. Over time, probably maybe a month in of doing that 3 times a week, I would recommend that the family change the name of the page. It's Frappe, whatever. Change it.
Why would you change it?
Because that's not normal. Change it. Change it after Holla.
Oh, okay.
Life after Holla. And then come up with something like, a family's journey to rebuild, restore. A family's journey to rebuild, restore, and become.
I love it.
And that's why people work with me.
I love that. Oh my goodness, that's amazing.
Well, that's just on the fly. That's not even including all the details
That's without even talking to them.
Yeah, that's like all the details. Like that's just and I don't even know what I said because I didn't. I was just. That's just a high level, but to build it out.
So some of the best friends is like, you giving away too much to not be paid.
You understand what I'm saying? Best friend. Speaking of which, my website is on sale. I'm currently having a flash sale on my website, CandySincerityJohnson.com. If you're looking for one of my digital books to fix money, make money, etc., if you want to get into one of my programs, my website is on sale, CandySincerityJohnson.com. But anyway, back to the conversation.
Needless to say, but that's dope. Like, and you know, and it's that type of stuff, and that's the reason why I put you on the spot. I know one of the best friends was like, "Is this a plug?" No, it's not a plug, but it is a plug all at the same time, because what it is, best friends, is people don't understand when somebody has a gift or when somebody is good at what they do, and they don't put themselves out there. Candy is very modest. Like, she don't brag, she don't boast, she don't do any of that, and she does a lot of the stuff. She does all her content is free on her pages, like all of that. And so it was just me just poking at her because I know what she's capable of. She's the reason why Sincerity Johnson is what it is. So, and I say that all the time, and I mean that when I say it. And so that was the reason why I kind of put her on the spot, because I knew that she could handle it, and I knew she would be okay.
Yeah, that's funny. That's
But
funny.
yeah, that's dope. That's dope. But I feel like I really feel like I think they're still contemplating. I think that the family is still trying to decide whether or not they're gonna stream it live. And at the end of the day, I'm not gonna say I hope they make the right choice, because it's their choice. You know what I'm saying? But I just hope that it all goes well, because it took I think this family went through a very difficult turn after Miss Holla left them, and they just need time to rebuild. And like you said, rebuild and become okay. They just need to do that.
I said, Candy, you better call them. Hashtag Shell Bell. You know what? I don't know how to reach them, and quite frankly, I know, y'all, my bun is falling. Every time I come on camera, my bun is falling. I know there's probably a lot of people reaching out to them, but I
Hmm.
some of the best friends that were tagging them in the video, tagging shit in the video. But yeah, I would definitely work with them. I would totally work with them. I would work with them, as much as I could. I totally
Yeah.
work with them, and I would walk them through that. And like I said, that's just a fly by night plan that I just came up with when Sean put me on the spot. But we could sit down and talk through all the details and figure out what it is that they really want to accomplish.
Hmm. Hmm.
You don't think about it, and I know this is a very difficult time, so it's a great area, because if they don't think through it and execute quickly, the moment's gonna be done past. You have a small window of time, right? Because at the end of the day, you have to keep in mind, and again, it's not a dig at anybody, but you have to remember, and you can't forget that the masses came because they fell in love with Grandma Holla. You have to remember that. And so during this transitional period where you guys are laying her to rest and you're starting the next chapter of your life, inviting people into that and being completely vulnerable and completely raw is going to be, the name of the game. Mm-hmm.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
But I
Wow.
too to the best friends, because there were a couple of people that said that's too much for free. I will say this: if my free content is that good, you can imagine what the paid content is given. I
Okay.
I tell people all the time, I pride myself in trying to give better free content than most people's paid content.
Hmm. Hmm. So, did you have anything else? Because you know what I'm gonna do next.
I'll take as many questions as you want. I don't even have to stop at 30. I'll take as many.
So typically, best friends, what Candy does, if you're new, then you may not know this. What Candy typically does is we come on, we discuss a topic, we drop some gems, she gives some knowledge and all of the things, and then she takes three questions from the best friends. So if anybody has any questions that you would like to ask, go ahead and ask. I'll take the first three that I see. Oh, Shay J said, I'm new. You got me as a follower off of the 5 minutes of speaking. Oh, welcome, Shay J. That means you are officially a best friend.
Thank you, best friend. Yes, yes, yes. Hmm. One of
Okay, so
the
I am just waiting to see. Thank you so much for the stars, Miss Cynthia.
thank you for the stars. Yes, yes, yes. But that's really cool.
That's dope. So we'll see if the best friends have any questions.
I'm sorry. Can you think of anything that I didn't mention?
Not that I can think of. So one of the questions, so Sheila, you may have to expound, so I'm not going to count this as a question. She said, what you think about the scam? Not quite sure what you mean by that. So if you want to rephrase it or expound on it, then that way we can answer it a little bit better. Michelle said, do you think they would pay you for, oh, do you think they would pay you for your services?
I'm not sure. What I would probably do with them is give them two options. Either they could pay a retainer fee, or they would have the option of, if they're creating individual brands or specific brands, of course, the brand means that you have a service or a product that you're attaching to it. So assuming that they have products or something that they're going to start to offer, then, either we would do a payment amount or a percentage, a percentage.
That's what's up. Brenda said, do you think that the brother is open to receive?
I'm not sure. I think with him, my angle with him would be, what's important to you? What is it that you want? Just based on his video, saying like money is the conversation for him. He's talking about, hey, I can show you how to make money. I can show you how to do this. I can show you how to do that. But there's some areas that we have to work on before we get to the bag. So that's how, if I was talking to a potential client like that, that would be how I would address that. But with him, I probably, if I could be transparent, I would only work with this family or members of this family if Shell was involved. If Shell's not involved, then I'm out.
Gotcha. Thank you so much for the stars, Miss Helen. Vivian says she wished she lived closer because she would definitely make an appointment to see you. Vivian, you don't have to live close. Baby, you can be in the UK and work with Candy. All you got to do is go to her website, CandySincerityJohnson.com.
That's it. Thank you very much for the stars.
Thank you again for the stars, Miss Helen. I'm trying to see if there's another question. Oh, Margaret said, I'm trying to order your book. How can I? Just go to her website, CandySincerityJohnson.com. So the name of this page, just put .com behind it. And I think the link might be somewhere on the screen. I don't know. I'm not sure how it looks for you guys. Let me see. Ms. Beverly said, I'm a follower, and I don't comment that much, but keep up the good work. Aw, I love it. Wanda said, is your services nationwide?
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm. I won't use that as a third question. I'm still trying to see if there's a third question. Let me see.
Like, to be on sale.
Huh?
How long is the website on sale?
I don't know. You tell me.
How long did you set it for?
You didn't tell me. You just told me do this, and I said okay, and then I don't know.
Right. Okay. So all of the digital books and all of the books on my website are on sale right now. We're doing a flash sale, 50% off. We're going to run it from today until, today is Sunday, so let's run it until Wednesday at midnight.
Okay. Wednesday midnight Central Standard. Did you tell them the other good thing that's available on the website during the sale?
Oh, you guys can grab either one of my programs, either the Mob Accelerator, which is the Millionaire Online Business Accelerator. So that's teaching you how to start and grow an online business, making over $1,000 from home. To start learning how to make over $1,000 from home. When you purchase that between now and Wednesday, you get the digital book for free, the digital workbook that goes along with that. You get that for free. Same concept with our second program. The other program on my website is the No Debt Reset. We walk you through how to budget, how to save, how to invest, how to get out of debt, improve your credit, all of that. All inside of the No Debt Reset. When you purchase that on the website between now and Wednesday, you also get that free digital book as a free download for free.
Mm-hmm. Yep, there you go. So you get the accompanying workbooks that are complimentary to those. Let me see. There was one. I just saw the question. Where did it go? One of the best friends said, do you think that people would still follow them after Grandma Holla has been laid to rest?
I think it really depends. That's why I said this is the crossroad. This is the part of the movie where the music starts playing and things starts, really, really moving. And so it's one of those situations where I can't give you a clear answer, because anything that I would say is based on how they move, right? So if they do the right thing at this critical point in time over the next 7 days or so, then of course they're going to win over the love and support of the people. But if they keep jumping in front of the camera and they keep being emotional instead of logical, we talk about emotion versus logic a lot on this page as it relates to business and money. There's a place for emotion, but when you show up to the table and you're ready to do business and you want people to cut a check and you want people's support, you have to be logical. You have to operate in logic. And so they gotta fit all of that name calling and being in your feelings. And I'm not suggesting that it's not warranted, and I'm not suggesting that they're not entitled to feel the way that they feel. But when you hit the button and you go live and you're addressing the people and you're addressing your community, you have to do it from a non-emotional place. Mm-hmm. So move is going to determine whether or not they have the love and support of the people long term.
Okay. And then there was one other question. I know I said 3, but I just want to squeeze this one in because it was the last one. Barbara said, do you feel that in order for the family to work successfully moving forward, they may have to leave some family members behind?
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
There you have it.
Absolutely. And if you've been watching the story unfold, I will say this. 9 out of 10 times, if I started to work with the family, I would just have the tough conversation up front because I'm a straight shooter. Sean will tell you that. Conversation with the people and I would lay the groundwork. This is what this should look like. This is what I suggest. But at the end of the day, you do it your way, right? I would also say most people that start the race are not the same people that finish the race with you. It's the same is true with family members. Family businesses are very difficult because you got a whole lot of different personalities. And oftentimes one of the biggest problems is people don't know how to leave the family relationship outside the door. And when they come to the table, have roles and responsibilities. When it comes to a business, there can only be one person at the top. There's only one head. So everybody else has to know and understand their position, and they got to play their part and know and understand that everything that they're doing is with the objective and with the goal to move the collective forward. But often we get into our feelings, ego gets involved in all that, and that's when you see people fall out. Or you have those people who are not consistent with their work, but they still want equal results. They want to eat, from the pie equally, and it don't work like that.
Facts.
So
that's dope.
Very similar to how I tell people all the time. If you're a business owner, you're an entrepreneur, you have a product or service. When you hit that button, maybe it might be 1,000 people that see your video, but you guys have heard me say it. That 1,000, you really narrowing it down to about a few people. So you're talking to the masses, but you're really trying to reach those couple of people. Same thing with that family, right? If I'm working with that family as a coach, I already know and understand there's gonna be some people who fall out the bottom of the bucket just to their own doing. And if you've been watching the story unfold online, you can pretty much predict who's probably gonna fall out the bucket.
Yep.
But it may surprise you. It may be somebody else.
Could be, yeah. Thank you so much for the stars, Miss Dana. Thank you so much for the stars, Miss Helen. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Miss Gail, for the stars. Thank you.
There's more.
Let me see. Marie said, what can they do about other people making money off of making T-shirts and hoodies of Grandma, basically using Grandma Holla's likeness? What can they do to prevent that? I think is what she's trying to ask.
So, one of the things that they could do, I want to look up something really quick as I'm talking to you. One of the things that they could do, they need to go ahead and set this up as a business, as a formal business. I'm looking up right now. So if I just went and I just did a quick search. I just did a quick search. I did a domain search to see if Grandma Holla's name is taken. So grandmaholla.com is currently taken, but you can work with somebody to buy it for like $70. Now, if I was a shady individual, I would buy this. I would buy the license. I would get all of the documentation. I would get, I would do all the legal paperwork, cross T's, dot I's, and then go to the family and say, I'll sell it to you, but you got to pay me. Right? Why am I bringing this up? I wouldn't do it because my moral compass is not set up that way. And so, but I'm trying to prove a point to you. There are a lot of people who watch different things play out on social media, and they watch brands grow from here to here. and they sit back and they wait for people to be sloppy, to not know, and they swoop in, and that's how they steal people's businesses. Or that's you find it all the time, right? You find it in the Black and brown community, because there's a lot of times we start a business and the things take off and we get busy and so many different things start happening, and then you look up a year later, 2 years later, you in court and it's over your own business. And I've had people literally be sued out of their own business because there was a company that took them to court and said, no, they're using my name. And you be like, well, no, this is my name. We've been doing X, Y, and Z. And it's like, no, it happens. It happens all the time. So me looking that up, they don't have their ducks in a row. I'm sure they don't have an LLC. I'm sure they probably don't have a business bank account. I don't know. I don't know. But they definitely don't have ownership of the domain name. And of course, anything attached with Grandma Holla or Holla or just anything like that, they should be purchasing all of that stuff.
Yep, that's a fact. But that was the last question. What else did you have?
I was going to say, you have to understand, in this day and age, digital is the new real estate, right? So that's your footprint. So somebody might be like, well, they could just do a different domain name. Well, they could, right? But digital, when people type it in, you want to take them directly to your stuff, right? And another thing, this just came to me, and people online, social media content creators have said they should be selling T-shirts, mugs, everything. Girl, they should have, the day after she passed, they should have a link for everybody to go get their shirt. Everybody across the country wear the shirt and tag the page and send pictures and everything. The day of her services, everybody across this nation that bought the shirt wear the shirt. Broke the internet. That was
facts. Facts.
Yeah. But if you got here, you want to make some money, you want to get to the next level, you know how to reach me. CandySincerityJohnson.com. You got anything else, my beautiful friend?
I don't. Thank you so much for enlightening us yet again, like always. It's always a pleasure. I've been around you for 17 plus years now, and it's still a pleasure to listen to you go. So thank you so much for that.
All right. When you coming home to me?
Tomorrow.
It'll
be tomorrow evening. I'll be leaving here at 4.
Okay. Tomorrow can't come up.
Aw. Well, tell the babies to video me before they go to bed.
Will do.
All right. Good night, best friend.